This is kind of funny. So the dude that made Dragon Ball Z died, and obviously somebody that worked at Sweet Baby, the first thing they thought of is about how he was a racist.
Hey, what's up, guys? Rev here. So today we're going to cover more
Look at
updates
this.
regarding the Sweet Baby Inc. situation.
Isn't this
but
cute?
First, for both context behind a portion of today's video, as well as for your own personal knowledge, I have some bad news to share with you. Last night, it was announced that the legendary creator of Dragon Ball, Akira Toriyama, has passed away at the age of 68. This is obviously very upsetting news for countless people across the world, as his works have connected with so many, including millions of people in the West like myself, whose earliest exposure to anime can be traced back to series like Dragon Ball. While I haven't followed the series or Toriyama's work as closely over the recent years, at least compared to others, anyone can acknowledge the almost inhuman level of contributions he provided to multiple mediums. Having said that, this is the internet. In moments like these, there's always going to be some people ready to sully the name of another.
There's always somebody who has to have the hot take, and they have to say the thing that, like, oh, this is popular. Well, guess what? It's actually bad. It's the same people that are like, oh yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is bad, or Elden Ring is bad. It's like, these are people who their entire personality is not liking something.
Person
the contrarians,
in an attempt for clout or to make some ridiculous hot take. And we saw that happen with who else but an employee of Sweet Baby Inc. The same employee responsible for launching the harassment campaign against the Steam group.
Remember what I said before about people who have problems are problems? This is a problem person. Can you imagine like having this person as like an employee? How much extra work that you would have to deal with just for like all of the little problems that they create, these little issues.
Okay, why is it when he says it, people eat this shit up, but when we talk about it in context or like in reference to Gina Carano being fired from Disney, suddenly it's a problem and suddenly they forget this argument? Like, if you are a liability for your corporation and you make that corporation look bad, they're going to fire you. It's not really relevant what exactly your opinion is. It's just, hey, you are too loud with your opinions.
Issues that have been invented. Oh my God. It's annoying as fuck. It's an HR nightmare.
And its creator.
They'd be fired.
Well, after unprivating their account shortly after they made this tweet, not even 24 hours after the announcement of Toriyama's death, essentially saying that he did a bad job in terms of representation in the series that he created. To hear this from a Sweet Baby Inc. employee is both frustrating and also somewhat poetic.
I'll tell you one thing, it's certainly not as surprising. It's not surprising.
Is there something wrong with this tweet? Why are they just ignoring the fact that this person said the best? Why is it woke to criticize media? I don't understand. What?
Surprising at all.
They fail to realize why Toriyama's works were so successful. It's a bit of a meme on social media, but it rings true. The Dragon Ball fan base is one of the most diverse you will ever see.
It's more diverse than anything that they're ever going to put into a video game. And the best part about it is that it's authentically diverse. It's not fake diversity, it's actual diversity. And that's what I think these people probably really...
None of these words mean anything. I would love to see Asmon's definition for fake diversity and genuine diversity. I would love to see it. They just don't make diverse anime like they used to, I guess.
You know, somewhere down deep inside, I'm sure they realize that it's like this person isn't following like our preordained set of rules of like what's acceptable and not acceptable of like how to be diverse. And somehow they're still being successful. And I'll tell you why. Because the content's good. And because it's made authentically. And this is something that these people...
Did Asmongold and his VTuber friend just are they just making up someone to get mad at? Why are they mad about the reach? They're gonna strain something. They're gonna hurt their back with how much they're reaching. This tweet is not that crazy. It's not even crazy.
People can't seem to understand.
One of the very few things
sad.
that people of any color or any background can seem to enjoy collectively. And why does that story connect so well with people?
Yeah.
Well, it has nothing to do with the color of the characters, but everything to do with the story and the content of those characters. Toriyama created a story that connected with a global audience.
Exactly.
Sweet Baby Inc. and their ilk don't create.
They can't even make a story that connects with the people that are already buying the game.
Lux, thank you for the prime. Thank you.
They can't even figure their own shit out.
What games have they worked on?
Like, what is this?
Rather, they twist, pander, and force characters and stories to mold to their agenda. But in the end, unlike the works of Toriyama, they end up connecting with no one. And if you want something to cheer you up, at least momentarily, for a short period, this Sweet Baby Inc. employee was.
It says that they've worked on Alan Wake, Spider-Man 2, God of War Ragnarok, and whatever the fuck these are. I've never heard of them before. I think I've heard of Sable. Didn't people like these games? Alan Wake, more like Alan Woke. A Japanese group for Black people had to protest against AT because he drew Africans messed up. Yeah, I'm not surprised. The thing is, when he says the worst characters, I know exactly the one he's referring to. It's pretty obvious if you've seen DBZ as a Black person. It's a bit disingenuous, though, I think, to say that I'm criticizing their media when they just died. It's not that the criticism is wrong. It's predatory timing, it seems. I mean, I don't think that... You've never heard of Ragnarok before? I listed Ragnarok as one of the ones I knew. I didn't know Battle Shapers or Usual June. Listen, I think you should respect people when they die, but I don't think that that extends to their art. I don't think that, like, that's necessarily the case. Like, if like Stephen King died tomorrow, I don't think I would give a fuck if people were like, dude, Pet Sematary sucked. Can we all agree? I don't think that that's that bad of a, like, is that really bad? Is that really so bad? It's kind of really not that big of a deal. Like, huh? Stop, Stephen King, stop writing yourself into your own books challenge. Stephen King, write a good ending challenge. Impossible. Also, the tweet didn't even feel disrespectful. It was poking fun at something. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, huh? Like there is for that person to say, fuck that guy. He made some of the worst Black characters. I'm glad he's dead. It's like, okay, I can see why people would dislike that. Yeah, sure. The reason Black characters in the original Dragon Ball were so bad was because it was inspired by the American drawings of Black people, which were often racist. His design of Black characters improved later in his career, though. Sick. So the other thing also is, has Asmongold listed a game that Sweet Baby Inc. has worked on that has been too woke? Because they just keep talking about it and talking about how woke it is, but they haven't actually listed any of the ones that they worked on and said why they were good or bad. Later in the video? Okay. Hopefully later. Hi, Gondok.
Suspended, but about 30 minutes later, they would return to their account.
Which, to be fair, like, I mean, they're dumb, but like, they shouldn't get banned for that, right? I mean, disrespecting Dragon Ball Z on the day that the creator dies, like, maybe you should get banned for that.
It's just a funny tweet. It's not even like making fun of him. The tweet is just like, it's just it's not even disrespecting him. It's just it's just a little joke. That takes range to write really bad characters and really good ones. what is it's just a joke.
But like, it is still funny that it happened.
They would also go private mode and basically go back into hiding, which seems like the smart thing to do since they can't seem to stop making bad tweets.
Yeah.
But moving forward, we return to Alyssa, the senior editor at Kotaku, who recently wrote an article about this Sweet Baby Inc. situation. Now, what have they been up to? Well, one of the things they've done is repost that message from the Sweet Baby Inc. employee going...
I love how they're so tribalistic about it, you know? It's like if like, they just like blindly support each other no matter what. It's like basically, I'm trying to think of like a good way to say this. It's like, you know, whenever you're like a little kid and you do like gross stuff or you do something stupid and then like all of your friends do something even dumber to like one up the first guy that did the first dumb thing. I feel like they're in a competition for that right now. You know, like y'all did that whenever you were kids. Yeah. Like, oh, let's do something even stupider than this. And it's like, it doesn't matter what it is. They're like, oh yeah, of course this is better. Oh my God.
After Toriyama showing...
I'm so confused. I'm just going to assume I didn't understand.
Support for
Elmer's
that message.
Glue, yeah.
And also, as we have continued, yesterday we went over the article that she posted about the Sweet Baby Inc. situation. And one of the big problems is that in the replies to that tweet sharing the article, she said, you can't be racist against white people.
I love community notes, man.
These community notes were so bad. These ones weren't even good. I guess there's time for jokes. Timing was bad. I know other folks got jumped on Twitter for making things a little lighthearted with the Toriyama news. It's just not like... Listen, guys. All right, when I die, I was about to say if I die, but then that sounded so ominous. When I die, please feel free to make fun of my stream. I don't care. I really don't give a fuck. You are not disrespecting me by making fun of my tweets or my streams or my videos or anything. Please. It's not that serious. It's really not that serious. It's fine.
It's just like, there it is, you know? People complain are outsiders to the communities that they're trying to destroy. Why can't these people build their own communities? What's your take?
No, guys, I would never die. I have to stream. I have to be a streamer.
Well, they have, and their communities suck. And so now they're coming into the good ones and ruining those too.
Like what?
It's like, no, like, yeah, you can have your game and your community and you can do your little thing over there. Like, why don't you, if you don't like Twitter, like all these people probably hate Elon Musk, go over to Blue Sky, go over to Mastodon. I'll tell you why they're not going over there. It's because nobody gives a fuck about that platform and they're addicted to the attention. That's the real reason. There's no actual ethics or morality to this at all. These people can't even, they cannot even regulate their own entertainment to make it in line with their morality or their ethics. But they want to tell everybody else what to do. You can't even regulate your own entertainment. It's crazy.
What?
Go over to Blue Sky. If you don't like Twitter, leave. Get the
I have to go back. One second. I need to understand. I'm sorry.
It's like, no, like, yeah, you can have your game and your community and you can do your little thing over there. Like, why don't you, if you don't like Twitter, like all these people probably hate Elon Musk, go over to Blue Sky, go over to Mastodon. I'll tell you why they're not going over there. It's because nobody gives a fuck about that platform and they're addicted to the attention. That's the real reason. There's no...
Bro, everybody hates Twitter. Have you been on the website recently? Have you been on the website? I'll give you, listen, okay, anyone here who doesn't use Twitter because you're normal, I will tell you it's on the website. It's just pussy in bio responses to every tweet and gimmick accounts with other gimmick accounts replying to gimmick account tweets to get traction. People are not upset because it's not woke enough. What? And crypto bros. How could I forget crypto bros? How could I forget crypto bros?
no actual ethics or morality to this at all. These people can't even, they cannot even regulate their own entertainment to make it in line with their morality or their ethics. But they want to tell everybody else what to do. You can't even regulate your own entertainment. It's crazy. Go over to Blue Sky. If you don't like Twitter, leave. Get the fuck out of here. But they never will because they're addicted to the attention.
This is the equivalent of saying, you don't like the algorithm on YouTube? Go to Vimeo. Oh, so I can go talk to the other 2 people that use that website? You don't like driving? Well, walk. Oh, yeah, on the roads that don't have any fucking sidewalks? No, actually, no.
Which drew even more criticism and a community note, basically disproving what she's trying to claim. And what has she done in response to this criticism? Well, she made that quote her banner on Twitter. Yes, very mature person, as you can tell. Well, as it turns out, that's...
Sir, ma'am, them, I don't know your gender, I'm not going to assume. Have you seen your VTuber avatar? I don't think you should be talking about other people's immaturity when this is what you chose to look like publicly. You look like a lolly. Okay, come on. Careful with the bricks in the glass houses, guys.
It's not the first time that Alyssa has had a very strange Twitter banner. As reported by Grums here, only a few months ago, she falsely accused someone else of being a transphobe, which ended up being her banner on Twitter, a quote saying, Gina Carano responds to Kotaku senior editor that claimed she was a transphobe, and in quotes, the person who posted this...
Wait.
is hot, which is supposed to be referring to Alyssa, but as it turns out, that's just a narcissistic edit, because this is the actual quote where it says,
narcissistic edit instead of funny tweet.
The person who posted this is sad. And
that's sad. So she changes a quote about herself. That's actually, bro, jeez, that is sad, bro. Like, I don't even want to make fun of this. It's just depressing. Jesus, man, that's awful. Man.
This is something that Alyssa celebrated on Twitter, and
is it just like a slow drama week? This video is sad. I can't believe anyone would be upset about this. What am I watching? Genuinely.
He falsely accused this person of being a transphobe and tries to take credit for changes made to the Mandalorian because of her.
Wait, but they are a transphobe. Wait. But Gina Carano literally is. What are you talking about?
Work. Very immature stuff. But what has Alyssa also been up to? Well, she's reporting that on International Women's Day, she has received dozens of emails like this and
I'm just so glad that they all waited for it to be International Women's Day. Yeah, that's why they're doing it.
Dozens more threats. Where, of course, she's trying to paint the recent criticism that she's facing on the fact that she's a woman, which of course.
I'm losing my mind. I am losing my mind. I am losing my mind. How do you call someone sending you a picture of a noose criticism? Someone telling you to kill yourself or saying that they want to kill you is not criticism. You shit for brains. That's just harassment. And she didn't say it was because she was a woman, actually. She just said Happy International Women's Day because she was posting on International Women's Day. What do you have to be cooking to think that just to be this person? Oh my God. Who is this? I just need to make sure I didn't mishear it. I need to make sure that they actually said something insane. One moment.
Because of her work. Very immature stuff. But what has Alyssa also been up to? Well, she's reporting that on International Women's Day, she has received dozens of emails like this and
I'm just so glad that they all waited for it to be International Women's Day. Yeah, that's why they're doing it.
Dozens more.
She's not suggesting that. She's just making a funny caption.
Have you watched the Sneeko video by Gokunaru?
No, I haven't.
Video if you haven't watched it yet, TBH.
Can you link it? I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, wait, I'm gonna let the text-to-speech take care of it. Dude was a Fate YouTube back in the day. He got his VTuber module, started to do heavy incel videos. Oh. 2 hours long. This is going to take too long. But maybe we can watch it tomorrow. I don't know what you're talking about. I criticize Elon like this all the time. You're right. I don't know why the TTS didn't read you out. Gabran, thank you for the 15 months. Thank you.
Where, of course, she's trying to paint the recent criticism that she's facing on the fact that she's a woman, which of course, none of this has to do with the fact that Alyssa is a woman. No one cares that she's a woman. We just care about the racist comments that she has made, and also
obnoxious.
her absolutely terrible article defending.
Are you people not concerned that you are being insane? Like both Asmon and whoever this is, are you not concerned that you're being deranged on the internet and everyone can see? Two dumb bitches going, exactly. I don't understand. I like genuinely, I'm so confused. Like, you just made that tweet into what you wanted the tweet to be with no certainty. The Kate's meow. Thank you so much for the tier 1.
Sweet Baby Inc. and those like them. Well, also a lot of people are criticizing this supposed proof of the threats she's getting because, as you can see, all sort of personal identifying information like the name and time of this email have been conveniently cropped out. And this is something that was pointed out.
Yo, you are such a sack of shit. If she put the name in the email, you would claim that she was giving, that she was doxing someone and that she was going to try and get them harassed. Oh, come on. Oh, you know that it's a lose-lose. Fuck off.
This user saying, where's the timestamps and sender info? Where Alyssa replies, oh, girl, they're not going to love you. Referring to
what does that even
the fact that this is a black woman making this reply, and Alyssa's essentially saying that you're like a pick-me because you're trying.
Whoa! Oh my God! I remember seeing this. I didn't really read into the context. Oh my God, bro. Remember what I said before, bro, about how the people that say that they're not racist, you know, this is it. Isn't it crazy? And why aren't they gonna love her? I wonder why. Oh man. It's just crazy how the same thing happens every time, isn't it? Okay, let me make sure that I'm explaining this properly. So
that was just like, that's like, oh my God. You know the to be continued meme? This clip should have ended. This video should have ended with the to be continued. I feel like this video is the equivalent of taking a 2x4 and just hitting yourself in the head with it over and over again.
So basically, this Alyssa puts. Oh, sorry. Let me make sure I have it in the right place. She puts this post out, and she omits all of the information about the sender. And then this person asks, "Where are the timestamps and the sender info?" and she posts a GIF, I guess, of saying, "You fake and you phony." And then Alyssa responds back to her. Again, this girl is calling her fake and phony, saying that they're not going to love you. And why would they not love her? What would the reason for that be? I got an idea. Who are they? Oh, gamers. Yeah, like the implication is that because she's a minority, she's like Black, Creole. I think Creole is one of the Native American tribes. Maybe she's Native American. I have no fucking idea. But like the implication is that, oh, they're not going to like you either because you're part of this minority group. Which again, as we just saw with the Haitian, oh yeah, I'm a fucking idiot. I guess I'm totally wrong. Creole is Black and French? Really? Oh yeah, I'm totally off base. I'm an idiot. I didn't know that. Thanks. Yeah, I had no idea about that. Anyway, either way, not a white person, right? Basically, that's what it comes down to. Not a white person. And so we just went through the whole thing with Dragon Ball Z to where everybody comes together.
Okay, can I say something? Can I say something? But it's kind of mean, but you guys have to be okay with me saying it. You know how some cops are almost, they're so easy to make fun of and they get triggered so fast, so quickly, that it's almost adorable. You guys know that one video of like the short cop and he's getting made fun of and he like shrinks smaller and smaller and smaller. And it's like, it's hilarious how cringe they are. Little Lopez, that it becomes so endearing almost. Not that you like that person, but rather that that person is such a trope. Like they are not like quite a Mary Sue, but they are such a trope that it becomes adorable. Like you are adorable. It's like you are a first grader. That is so cute. That is so cute. You really believe this? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's how I feel about Asmongold, where it's like, how can you be this person and not be self-aware? How can you not be self-aware? Laughable is more apt. It's just like, I want to take these people and I want to put them in like a Truman Show and that we could just watch them forever. You're completely right. By the way, they would make it a catch-22 because the one time that Nadia posted the first name of someone who sent her a threatening dono, they were screaming docs, 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 docs. Yep. Mm-hmm. It's like it's a lose-lose for the person that they're criticizing.
For this kind of stuff. No, this actually doesn't. They're not going to love you. And so this illustrates and kind of shows the way these people think. I would even go as far to say, as they think in terms of black and white. That's just what it seems like to me.
Dude, you haven't given this woman credit for anything. You haven't even tried even a little bit to understand what her perspective might have been. And you have the audacity to say that she only thinks in black and white? That's crazy to me.
They really do.
Where's the timestamps and sender info where Alyssa replies, "Oh girl, they're not gonna love you," referring to the fact that this is a black woman making this reply, and Alyssa's essentially saying that you're like a pick-me because you're trying to question her proof of these supposed death threats. Yeah, seems a little bit of an odd thing for the
I cannot believe it is the year 2024 and we're pretending like people don't get death threats. This is so baby brain. This is so baby brain. What? People would never send a death threat to a woman they disagree with on the internet. That's never even happened before. Ever. What are you talking about? Why is this so unbelievable to you that someone would send a death threat on the internet?
inclusion and diversity oriented person like Alyssa.
And I want to say one thing. If somebody's sending you death threats or actual threats on your life and you post their info, I say fuck them. I'm totally fine with that. If Alyssa wants to post the info of the people that are actually trying to harass her and actually sending her death threats, fuck them. That's what they get.
Saying here, but anyways, we continue. As stated yesterday, Kotaku was the first set of gaming journalists to come out and make a
Uh-huh. Sure. Mm-hmm. Sure. Sure. Also, the thing is, can we just be realistic for 2 seconds? Death threats, by the way, are in fact I think they're a federal crime. You're not allowed to send death threats to people. You're not allowed to say like, we're coming after you or whatever. That's because it is direct and it is like actionable. That's against the law, which is different from I hope you kill yourself, which is, as far as I know, is not against the law. I could be mistaken. It's possible. Internet laws change. It's very new and everything. You really think the person who sends people death threats is sending those emails from their fucking work email? Do you some of them, because they're dumb as hell, more realistic than anything else, it's probably someone using some fucking sock puppet email. And if they put it, here's the thing, right? Even if she showed the email, they'd be like, you probably made that email up.
statement on the Sweet Baby Inc. situation. And of course, other gaming journalists saw this as an opportunity to get more Gamergate related clicks, where they would make their articles, including from Eurogamer. And I would go over this article, but I don't think anyone actually cares, and it's pretty evident by this tweet. I already did.
Nobody cared.
An account with an immense level of following, and I took this screenshot about 12 hours after it was posted, and it had 32
likes. Wow. Isn't it funny how just completely impotent legacy media is? It's actually crazy how outdated it is. And what's really sad about it is, like, I want you guys to really think about this for a minute. When was the last...
But it's posted on Twitter. What is he talking about? Huh?
last time that a piece of written media had a genuine impact culturally on gaming? Like 2012? That's really bad, isn't it? Written media, I can't even read. Yeah, that's why you're here. Not in this decade. You had Diablo 4 patch notes. Ooh, Nintendo Power. Yeah. And so it was such a long time ago. And I actually
the official company and not an influencer. I don't know that Eurogamer qualifies as a legacy media. That was the Twitter account, yeah? Eurogame. I don't think Eurogamer is Eurogamer a legacy? I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me look up legacy media. Old media or legacy media are the mass media institutions that dominated prior to the information age, particularly print media, film studios, music studios, advertising agencies, radio broadcasting, and television. It's just to describe things that are not on the internet. I promise Eurogamer is on the... We're just gonna press play. We're just gonna press play on the video.
Like, I personally think that written media is one of the best ways to transmit information. I think it's better than video. I think it's better than tweets, obviously. I think long-form written media is the pinnacle of communication of ideas. And it's very disappointing that seemingly nobody is able to capitalize on that.
I just don't think anyone cares about Eurogamer, to be honest with you. But a lot of people were talking about PC Gamer and their attempt to smear everyone criticizing Sweet Baby Inc. And I think the whole article can be summed up by this completely disingenuous section right here. It says, the situation grew in scale as some Sweet Baby employees, frustrated at the idea of a curated list specifically made to avoid games they had worked on, acknowledged the group on social media. While the tweet has been removed,
acknowledge the group.
What?
This is why nobody...
I'm sorry, his voice was so grating, I didn't understand that. Situation grew in scale as some Sweet Baby employees frustrated at the idea of a curated list. Huh? Is it just that they didn't show all of the games that they've made? Is that not just like a resume? Guys, when you make a resume for a company, do you share the shitty jobs that you worked if you're trying to get a good job? Is that what they're talking about? Is that the equivalent? Yeah, I put bong/sex shop I worked at when I applied to the Fortune 500 companies. Obviously, if you've worked on a lot of different projects, you're going to put the best projects at the very top. And when you show off the projects that you've worked on, you're probably going to try and show off the best things you've made, not the worst things you've made. Duh. Is that not like basic? Or are they talking about something else entirely? Because they could be talking about something else entirely. I don't know.
Trust media.
They're referencing the Steam group that's like anti-SBI. He didn't explain that. Oh. The Steam group had a list of games that should be avoided. Oh. Well, that's stupid. Uh-huh. That's also dumb to be like, well, this studio, you need to avoid all their games because they're woke. I would be upset if I sat down and I worked a lot of hours on a game and I saw people saying, hey, avoid all of these games because the company's woke. I'd be upset. I'd be like, no, we put a lot of heart, blood, and soul into that game. It's a good game. Versus like, I'm not going to support Blizzard because I don't respect what they're doing in Hong Kong or whatever. That would be, okay, I don't want to give these people money. But this one is just, you shouldn't even try the games because they're not good. What? Also, why do you need a list to avoid them if they're all shitty because they're woke? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
It's because they lie. Stop lying and people will respect you. Just stop making things up. Like why is this such a problem? Just stop making up lies. What are you doing? Just tell the story the way it is and that's it. Like why is this a personal investment?
An employee also discovered and shared the group's curator's Twitter account. And of course, they don't mention what was said in that set of tweets.
One employee also discovered and shared the group curator's Twitter account. This is what the problem is they're just lying. Like they're misrepresenting the situation. It's so blatantly obvious to anybody who's paying attention to it, even half paying attention to it, that they're completely misrepresenting the situation and hoping that stupid people that still read their news site aren't going to have any other frame of reference to base their opinion on. This is clearly not what happened. It's just...
I feel like I'm watching someone who's like off their meds. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I just don't understand. I don't understand. What is this?
Painful. Yeah. It's like, what you need to understand is that this is one perspective that I've always had with like any media, is that unless I trust the person who's writing the media, I assume that everything that's written is some form of a lie. I assume that with everything, because whenever I read articles,
losing my shit, man. I am done. I am so gone. I did not know he was such a comedian.
It's about things that I know a lot about. I
That's
always see
incredible.
tremendous inconsistencies in all of those articles. So I logically assume that those inconsistencies also.
I logically assume that these are inconsistencies. I am sorry. I apologize. I am sorry. It is just so funny to me. It's just, how am I not supposed to laugh? How?
Span to things that I'm not educated about as much. And those inconsistencies are just as bad everywhere else. It's just that I don't have the contextual knowledge to be able to see them.
And they don't show it. Well, here's what those tweets were.
Yep,
they
there it
were
is.
targeted harassment.
They were.
That likely were the reason that this account got in trouble, where they directed their followers to falsely report and harass this Steam group as well as its creator.
Wait. So, like, what do you mean falsely report? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Steam, didn't the Steam group break TOS? I just don't know how you could say that asking that a Steam group gets closed down or shut down or whatever because it was reported for breaking terms of service is harassment, but someone telling you they want you to die and they're coming after you next is criticism. I just don't understand what universe that makes sense. I don't get it. I don't understand. I'm going to look into this Steam group thing in one sec. Stand against censorship. So edgy. Supposed Sweet Baby Inc. employee responds to Steam curator group being used to track their contributions to gaming and wonder why people hate them. Huh? Oh, this says fake news. Never mind. Is it just a meme post? Okay, so there was a Steam group. Okay, I figured it out. There was a Steam group. I didn't even know there were groups on Steam. What type of losers hang out on Steam groups? Genuinely. I think that is like another level of like incel. I get Discord. I get using Steam to play with friends. But if you're hanging out in Steam groups, to be clear, I'm not talking about Steam Workshop. You make mods, you want to, talk with the other modders, you want to comment on a mod not working or something. Cool. Yeah. Steam groups? I've never even heard of that. And I've had Steam for like a decade since they've been around. I don't, who's hanging out there? I'm so confused.
It's a really good way to find people to play Civilization with who don't quit as soon as they lose a single city.
Maybe you're right. What's the difference if you hang out in a Steam group or Discord? I will explain for anyone that's confused. Okay. Blizzard. 2 games that I enjoy playing. One of them, well, used to enjoy at the very least. One of them is called Overwatch, and the other one is called Heroes of the Storm. Overwatch is a lot more normie, and so their moderation is a lot better. You can't just go into the chat and type whatever crazy shit you want. You can't just get in voice and harass other people. You actually have to be a civilized member of society when you play Overwatch because it's actually moderated because there's a lot of people that play it, or at the very least used to play it. Heroes of the Storm, on the other hand, there are so few people that go there that it is such a cesspool because it's so not moderated because the game doesn't make any money that every day, just in case anyone here wants to try it out and download HOTS just for this purpose, there's something known as the general chat. So when you're like loading and you're just waiting for games, you can see like general chat or like a regional general chat where random people are just typing. And basically every time I've launched that game, there have been people writing the N-word with the hard R and people talking about how they love Trump killing the gays or something. It's not moderated. It's not moderated. So it's a cesspool. It is a complete cesspool there. Because the more people you have on something, the more people you have on a platform, the more moderation you have to do to keep that platform in check. And the less people you have on a platform, the less you have to moderate because nobody really cares. Nobody hangs out in Steam groups. I've never met a single person, and all the time that I've been on the internet, that I've never met a single person that has used Steam groups, which means it's gotta be a cesspool. Just by virtue of it not having a lot of people that are there, Steam groups have to be cesspools. Doesn't mean every single one is, but it just means that probably most of them are. Do we know that Steam groups aren't moderated? Just go to a Steam group or a forum, smile. Yeah. Yeah. You have to understand, Steam doesn't make money off of these aspects, so they just kind of put them in there and that's it. Anyways, so I guess there was a Steam group called Sweet Baby Inc. Detected. The most recent post says, I'm going to have to delete all the posts for now. Steam support just sent me a message saying that this group is receiving a lot of reports and it might get deleted. To avoid this, I'm just going to delete all the posts. Because if this group's falls, the curator page falls as well. I'm sorry, guys, but for now, no more new posts until it's resolved. And this is after this. Somebody created a Steam curator page that basically indicates in which games Sweet Baby Inc. was involved. A writer and designer on the team is asking people to report the group to censor them. This Steam curator harassment group, Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, is led by this person. Here's them trying to be slick so they don't get reported, even with discriminatory language filed off. The group itself still fails the code of conduct. Okay, so it sounds like they're just reporting them for violating the Steam rules. Okay, and? What? If you break the rules and someone finds out that you broke the rules, then that's kind of on you? What Karl Marx warned us about. Let's see. How do I want to see the other pictures. I hate Reddit. Oh, wait. Next. There we go. Why wouldn't you just tie those to the arrow keys? Whatever. This says, not surprising, leftist liberals are the most racist, bigoted people if you know their history. I love these people so much. They're so crazy. They're so crazy. I love them. You sure about all that? Because most of us here are liberals. I think you might be confusing liberals with progressives because it politically suits you. Far easier to paint liberals as progressives than have to argue against the freedom of individual rights. Huh? Smiley face. This is the problem we're going to have. While rejecting left-wing dogma, the right-wing dogmatic types will try and co-opt this and replace left-wing dogma with their own. Just go to Reddit. Just go to Reddit if you're going to type like that. And this is the problem we're going to have. Just go to Reddit, please. This is not the place for you. Leftist, progressive, liberal, Democrat, they're all part of the same disgusting party. Okay. Hello, everybody. I am blank. I am a 35-year-old white pansexual woman who's grown up with video games since the 1930s, and I'm here to say fuck Sweet Crybaby Inc. I find anime titties and sexy video game women as sexy as the... Why are random words capitalized? I find capital A, anime, capital T, titties, and sexy, capital S, video game, two separate words, capital, women, capital, as sexy, capital. Why? Why is titties a proper noun? Why is women a proper noun? Why is sexy a proper noun? Okay. As much as the next fat, white, middle-aged, patriarchal nerd who can't get a girlfriend boogeyman that these dickless and clitless, oh, it's definitely a real woman, sweet baby prudes like to project their lack of dates and non-existent sex life onto. It's like these sweet baby nagging nannies forgot there are gay women who like sexy video game women whenever it's convenient for them. Hint, hint. It definitely types like a boomer woman. I won't lie. I actually won't even lie. Was the original format an acoustic poem? I'm sorry for reading it like this because random words are capitalized and it's throwing me off. It's really throwing me off. I've got news for you, sweet baby. We gamers know that racism is bad. We gamers know that sexism is bad. We gamers know transphobia and homophobia is bad. We do not need companies like Sweet Baby Inc. constantly nagging and lecturing us about all this because we already know. And we want to break from your constant woke nagging and pandering. We do not go around committing hate crimes. Seriously, we just want to be left alone and play games that are entertaining, not nagging us about real life issues and politics. And sometimes even play games that are, do I say, dare I say, sexy. There it is, sweet baby. That 4-letter word you love to hate. And this is coming from a pansexual female gamer. Am I a joke to you, Sweet Baby Inc.? And so if you are a member of the Steam group who is also a member of the LGBTQ community, I like this one, a woman, Asian, and or BIPOC who finds sexy women in video games. Why did she write just Asian? What was that? I'm sorry. I encourage you all to leave a comment under this rant saying how much you love sexy video games and sexy video game women and how much you want companies like Sweet Baby Inc. to mind their business and stop woke pandering to us in video games. It is time to bring sexy back to video games and no longer let the likes of Sweet Crybaby Inc. turn video games into a boring world where the concept of dirty jokes and sexy women don't exist. Hint, hint. Thank you. Followed by, well, I can agree that racism and sexism are bad, but transphobia and homophobia, nah, those two are good. They'll save humankind. This is just like that Kanye interview with Alex Jones, where Alex Jones is like, you know, some people might call you a Nazi, but I personally, followed by Kanye saying, no, I'm a Nazi. Me, it's me, I'm a Nazi. And then Alex Jones being like, okay. Okay. But you just, and then, oh yeah, and then he tries to save him. It's the best part. I totally forgot. Alex Jones tries to save Kanye and he's like, you just like the outfits, right? Like the style of the Nazis? No, I love Hitler. Kanye, we're live. Kanye, we're live. That's the same thing. It's this person made this whole ass rant to be like, we are not bigoted people. Followed by people being like, actually, we are bigoted people. That's amazing. That's so incredible. Okay, and then let's see what the is this the last one? There's more. She could have elaborated on how her logic works, but no, she had to go and use the typical woman response because she can't help herself. I already told you, ma'am, I'm not trying to attack you. I'm just trying to understand how most pansexual people I've come across are just bisexual with extra kinks. Normal stuff. Okay, and then we've got don't make the same mistakes. Let's make it clear this is not about rebelling against bad writing. This is rebelling. This is about rebelling against bad writing, mob rule, dodgy feminist practices and businesses. It is not about feminism, leftism, whateverism. Okay, so this is a post on, I guess, the group of one guy that's trying to be normal, followed by a bunch of people responding, saying it's still part of it. It's against woke shit. These people were part of the first Gamergate. And they literally murdered people. Maya, Felix, Lego, Butts. Who are these people? It's impossible to fight number one if number two is the disease that it spreads. Feminism is the disease that is being spread, guys. Did you know that? No, this is 100% a backlash against feminism and leftism. Feminism, leftist, LGBTQ activism is at the ideological heart of what drives these people. So yes, they are what we're protesting against. No, don't admit it. Look at this. Look at this fucking LARPer, guys. Look at this 14-year-old. Some people need to discover their war nerve now, or we're going to lose again. We have tried having rational conversations with the enemy. We have tried being decent to them. We have tried compromise. It doesn't work. Crushing them is what works. Okay. Honey, shouldn't you be going and getting your meatloaf right now? Don't you have some homework to do? Don't you have some geometry homework to get to? Oh my God, you are not in an anime. All of them have read the meritocracy myth in college, huge book among leftoids. The premise is basically everything runs on nepotism. Merit isn't even real. Huh? This is not a leftism thing, by the way. This is like, I know you guys already know this because you're not dipshits, but this is not leftism. This is just the state of like Americans in general and people in general. I'm trying to find it. There was a post I saw recently. And it was a news article that was circulating on Twitter, I believe, that said that people just don't believe in like the 9 to 5 anymore. Here we go. Here it is. People no longer believe working hard will lead to a better life, survey shows. This doesn't have anything to do with leftists. This has everything to do with the fact that, hey, guess what? Sorry, one second. Uno momento. This has nothing to do with leftists. This has everything to do with the fact that capitalism is destroying this country. And the general population, maybe they're leftists, maybe they're not. They just recognize that it doesn't matter how hard you work. Your employer is always going to be trying to fucking drain you for as much as you're worth. Like, huh? And this is a great story. I was an opener at a gym and the only employee in the building from 5:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. 5 days a week. Manager position was directly above me. Opened up. I applied and I got it. After 2 weeks of working this position, I was introduced to the manager that they hired for this role. They said I was too valuable as the opener and it's easier to fill the manager role than the former. The 80 hours I worked as manager were paid at $8.75 an hour instead of the $12 I was promised. And the next Monday I was scheduled back for opening and only 27 hours. So needless to say, I quit. I never missed a day, did my job so well that I was invaluable, and they still rug pulled me. Hard work is punished in the US. I've talked about the same thing with you guys as well with my experience working jobs. I worked at this one job for a while. And I initially started as like an intern it was a stipend. I got a $500 stipend for months of work, but I was like, whatever. So I was working as an intern and I was so good at my I was so good while I was an intern that they hired me. And I was like, great, wonderful. I was expected. And I proceeded to like actually make the business more profitable by making it more efficient. They had us, it's a long story and I'm not going to get into all the details, but basically there are public documents online. You rip them online from the internet, and then throw them into an Excel sheet, and you know, you use the Excel sheet for like a mail merger so that we can send mail out. And I looked at the process that was happening and I was like, this is so inefficient. I can do this. So I tell my boss, I'm like, hey, can I get like a few hours today? And instead of working what I normally work, let me improve your systems, because they're not good. People shouldn't be doing this manually. This is stupid. And he's like, okay, sure, go for it. And so I spent like 3 hours looking up formulas and stuff like that and getting something to work that I could just give to any of the new interns. And instead of manually doing all of this shit, you can just automate a lot of it. So instead of manually retyping the names and the information, it would pull it automatically. You would just copy paste it, and then the next sheet over would format everything correctly and like remove all the spaces and adjust everything. And I sat down, made it really, really good. Like literally something that used to take someone an hour would now take like 5 minutes. Okay. It's not only saving time, it reduces human error. Yep. And so a couple hours later, I go to my boss. I'm like, okay, I solved it. I'll show you how it works. There's no reason everyone shouldn't be doing this. And he's like, wow, great. Thank you. And after that, he was like, well, you know, do you want to work on like the mail merger side of the thing? And I was like, yeah, sure. It's easy. Also made that significantly more efficient. Super, super, super efficient. Great. My autistic ass literally cannot not give them efficiency. I need to do the most effective process. See, I'm lazy and it's all about working smarter, not harder. And so I made the mail mergers super, super streamlined. It like processes that used to take 10 hours were taking an hour, basically. And my employer was like, okay, well, can you start doing this work? And the next bit of work that he put me on was like very like assistant work, which I am very good at, but it's very assistant work. It's not complicated work. It just takes a lot of time. And I worked that job for a while, and I told him, I was like, hey, like, I'm not really getting any satisfaction working this job. You know, it's a really easy job. I can just train someone else to do it. I want to work what those people are working, and they were working things that were way more complicated, and that looked like way more fun. So I tell him, I'm like, yeah, I want to be transferred to doing that type of work. Hire someone, and I will train them to do what I'm doing now. We go through a bunch of people. None of them really want to learn it, whatever. And I tell them, I'm like, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't feel like doing this job. I don't want to do this job. I don't want to come in and do this fucking annoying job when I shouldn't have to. And I told him, I was like, if you don't find someone in 2 weeks, I'm quitting. And he's like, yeah, but you're just so good at that. But you're just so good at the assistant stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I know, because my quality, my standard is high. But I don't care. I'm quitting if you don't find someone else. I'm not doing this like mind-numbing, brain-melting labor. And also the job that I was the job that I was working, it was a lot of work, but it wasn't difficult work. And it got a lower pay than the difficult work did. And I was like, I could do the difficult work better than those people can. Guess what? 2 weeks go by. He can't find someone. Surprise, surprise. I tell him, okay, well, I'm going to quit. And he's like, no, but like, you should stay because like you're so good at that job. And I was like, that's nice. I'm not doing this boring ass fucking labor that just takes a fuck ton of hours. And it's a job that I shouldn't even be doing by myself. It's a job that requires 2 people. So I'm not taking dog shit pay for a job that should be done by 2 people. And it's a job that I don't want to do, actually. All of that was just to say, yeah, this shit is so fucking annoying when you're like actually so good at your job and you work as hard as you can and you put 110% in and you get punished for it. It makes me so pissed. It makes me so pissed. But that's not leftism. That's just people getting sick and tired of their bosses being pieces of shit. That makes me want to only put 50% in. Yeah, that was when I learned that you never put 110% in. Ever into a job, ever. Unless you actually have a manager that will reward you, never put 110% in. I forgot why I got on this tangent. Oh, right. We were looking at this. One second. Right. We were looking at some stupid Reddit posts. Okay. All right. Let's consolidate this a little bit because my brain is going to melt if I have to fucking do this for 2 more seconds. Sweet Baby Inc. had a, I guess, hate group on Steam that was flagging or making a list of Sweet Baby Inc. worked on games to tell people to avoid them. And the group was engaging in bigoted activities and behavior and language, which then got reported by and signal boosted to report, or sorry, a Sweet Baby employee signal boosted that they should be reporting this group. And they're calling it harassment. This is so fucking stupid. This is,
But when you look at the author of this PC Gamer article...
Can I just say that I hate the name Sweet Baby? Every time I say it, I get mad. I'm going to start calling it SB.
Doesn't it all just add up? And you know what? Maybe I'm just being a completely ridiculous person, but like, why do these people put out that like they're pansexual in their Twitter bio? Like, is this a dating website or something? Like, why is this relevant to anything? Why do I need to know this about you? I don't care, and a lot of people don't care, but it's just kind of goofy. Like
I will tell you guys why, actually. I will tell you guys why people do that. People do that because it's actually really good for getting sponsorships. Because companies love to look progressive because it gives them more money. And so they're like, ooh, yes, we're going to continue bombing children in Africa. But check it out. Look at this woman. Look at this black woman that we have that works for us. And that's why the military did the same shit. Hold up. Does anyone have that military ad? No, it was a CIA ad. Gay woman or something. This one. I'm surprised comments are not disabled.
When I was 17, I quoted Zora Neale Hurston's How It Feels to Be Colored Me in my college application essay. The line that spoke to me stated simply, I am not tragically colored. There is no sorrow dammed up in my soul nor lurking behind
LGBTQIA plus.
in my eyes. I do not mind at all. At 17, I had no idea what life would bring, but Zora's sentiment articulated so beautifully how I felt as the daughter of immigrants then and now. Nothing about me was or is tragic. I am perfectly made. I can wax eloquent on complex legal issues in English while also belting Guayaquil de mis amores in Spanish. I can change a diaper with one hand and console a crying toddler with the other. I am a woman of color. I am a mom. I am a cisgender millennial who's been diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. I am intersectional, but my existence is not a box checking
She's literally neurodivergent.
exercise. I am a walking declaration. a woman whose inflection does not rise at the end of her sentences, suggesting that a question has been asked. I did not sneak into CIA. My employment was not and is not the result of a fluke or slip through the cracks. I earned my way in, and I earned my way up the ranks of this organization. I am educated, qualified, and competent, and sometimes I struggle. I struggle feeling like I could do more, be more to my 2 sons, and I struggle leaving the office when I feel there's so much more to do. I used to struggle with imposter syndrome, but at 36, I refuse to internalize misguided patriarchal ideas of what a woman can or should be. I am tired of feeling like I'm supposed to apologize for the space I occupy rather than intoxicate people with my effort, my brilliance. I am proud of me, full stop. My parents left everything they knew and loved to expose me to opportunities they never had. Because of them, I stand
I will tell you, she definitely is a woman with how much she's talking, though.
here today, a proud first-generation Latina and officer at CIA. I am unapologetically me. I want you to be unapologetically you, whoever you are. Know your worth. Command your space. Mija, you're worth it.
Finally. Anyways, join the CIA, Smile. Anyways, join the CIA. Listen, okay, companies and the government love to pretend to be progressive, so you ignore the fact that they're literally committing war crimes and they're stealing your fucking labor and your income. It's like Skittles. We love gay people so much. We love the gay people. Don't look at the fact that we don't pay our workers, though. But we love gay people. They're so great. They're great. Or like any chocolate companies. Guys, we are so progressive. Guys, what was it? Hershey's had the trans trans chocolate bars. They're not literally, but they had a trans woman say, oh, it was a Hershey. It was like Hershey with like the she in like pink letters. It was H-E-R, capital S-H-E, lowercase y. And it was a trans woman being like, I'm Hershey. She, her. And then people got really mad, but it's like, dude, why do you think they're doing that? They're doing that so you don't look at the fact that the majority of chocolate is harvested by fucking children off the backs of like fucking child slavery. That's why. That's why they're doing it. Don't look at the fact that, oh, we are abusing child slaves in another country to get the chocolate. Just look at the fact that we love trans people. Same with car companies greenwashing. Or this, I've never seen this before. USA Army recruitment.
The Army released a while ago.
It begins in California with a little girl raised by 2 moms. I also marched for equality. After meeting with an Army recruiter, I found it. A way to prove my inner strength.
They have now received so much backlash from the advertisement that they removed it from their YouTube. The calling was delisted from the service's YouTube channel last week, hiding it from search results and recommendations. If they are going to post it, why take it back now? What do you guys think?
What do you guys think? Okay, Philip DeFranco. Like, guys, companies love that shit. Companies love to have someone that looks progressive promoting their products. Especially because it also causes engagement. Like, they know every time that they put trans people or gay people or queer people in general with their product, they know it's going to stir shit and it's going to get them even more traction. That's why they do it. It's free marketing. It's literally free advertisement because they know that these idiots exist. So all of that is just to say, if you ever look at a Twitter bio and you see something like that, generally I would just assume that someone is doing it for brand deals. Because that's why I have mine the way that I have mine. Or Assume that it's there because they often talk about those issues. If you frequently talk about queer issues, you probably want people to be able to go to your page immediately and recognize that you are a part of the queer community. Because you don't want people to show up to your account and think, oh, this is some straight person telling queer people what to do or what not to do. Versus, oh, this is a queer person within the queer community talking about queer issues with other queer people, which is very different. It's like, imagine a white person on Twitter. Well, you don't have to imagine, actually. It happens all the time. Telling Black people how to better manage their communities. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? Versus people in the Black community discussing issues within the Black community. Discussing issues within your groups and working on ways to combat them is different than being an outsider looking down on a group of people. Very different. So there's a lot of reasons that someone could have that in their bio. Okay. Literally happens all the time. Yeah. Okay. Hope everyone's well. Thanks, Kento.
I said, it's like, what is this, a dating service or something? It's very strange. But moving forward, that wasn't the only person in the industry who was coming out to defend everyone involved with this situation. We have this individual saying that they are super excited to announce that they are now the lead narrative designer and working on the Black Panther game. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Well, what do they have to say about this situation? Well, they come out and say, side note, you guys do know that community notes can be added by anyone, right? I can add a community note to this post right now saying this screenshot isn't real and it can be seen by literally everyone. No, that's not how the community note functions. You have to get upvotes in order to be actually passed.
Yeah, it has to be approved by a consensus of people. If that's true, why didn't you do it? To prove that it's true.
What?
I wonder why.
And the note to be made public.
No updates.
Yes,
Yeah, they're not getting any updates.
Note, but that
That's
doesn't
the
mean
problem.
it's going to get approved. And in this case, this note got approved, and here we are multiple days later, and it's still up, despite, I'm sure, many people in this
reporting
circle
and
here
crying
trying
about
to
it. Yeah,
downvote
exactly.
that community note. But it's very telling to see another member of the industry get upset about this note. And going
Why are we pretending like if a majority of people believe something, it's true? And also, why are we pretending like Twitter doesn't have any bias on what it allows and doesn't allow? Huh? Like, a majority of people thought slavery was okay. That didn't mean that slavery was okay. If there were a bunch of people in the community notes that think that the statement, you can't be racist against white people, is inaccurate and you totally can be, that doesn't necessarily even mean that it's true. Hitler rose to power with a majority vote. Just because the majority of people believe something, it doesn't mean shit. The majority of people are, at the very least, a little transphobic. I think that that's a safe statement to make. Maybe people who are actually trans can correct me if they find that that's not the case. But in my experience, generally speaking, the majority of people are at least a little transphobic. And by a little, I mean like, oh, I don't have any problem with trans people. I just like, I just don't want my kids around that. To all the way up to these people are sexual deviants that need to be persecuted. So that's what I mean when I say at least a little. Versus they're just people. They're literally just people. Okay, they're literally just people. Oh, Hitler was appointed by a chancellor by the lib Hindenburg. He wasn't voted in. Wait, you're right. You are right. Yes. Yes. I would say the complete vast majority of people are transphobic to some degree, even if it's very, very minor. Yeah. Yeah. As someone who passes very well, I'm just a person until somebody finds out I'm trans. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. But why are we pretending right now? Why are we pretending like if the majority of people agree on something, it means that it's correct? Did we so quickly forget that we fucking killed Galileo? It is Galileo, right? Galileo was the guy that was murdered? Please tell me. Well, not murdered. He was executed, or am I thinking of Copernicus? I might be thinking of Copernicus. Ah. He was imprisoned? I'm trying to find this, but it's all just about science. I don't give a fuck about the science. I want to see how he died. Ah, okay. Galileo was found okay. Blah, blah. Okay. Basically, heresy, namely having held the opinions that the sun lies motionless at the center of the universe. He was sentenced to formal imprisonment at the pleasure of the Inquisition. On the following day, this was commuted to house arrest in which he remained. So Copernicus was the one that was executed, yeah? Because I know that it was heretical to say that the earth wasn't at the center of the universe because it was considered you mocking God. Education. No, he didn't get executed either. Wait. Okay, he looks like he died from a stroke. And he got into a coma because of a stroke. Who the fuck am I thinking of? I guess I'm just thinking of the imprisonment. Another denim stream of misinformation. Me when I spread misinformation. No, I'm only talking about the imprisonment. Why does she lie? Why? It's Women's History Month, guys. I'm allowed to do a little bit of lying. Okay, a little bit. Mandela effect, you're right. They locked up Galileo too, yeah. Okay. Anyways, enough of that. You guys get the point.
Forward, this relates a lot to another game.
Giordano Bruno was hung or hanged for astronomy ideas.
The narrative director on the Wolverine game that is upcoming. We talked about this individual.
By the way, didn't a Wolverine game get leaked and it was terrible? It did, right? Yeah. It's not really good, is it?
In my previous video, because they support...
Wait, sorry. This is going to bother me if I don't respond. I'm only talking about imprisonment. Someone who said...
wiggle.
Someone who said execution 30 times. Suspicious user monitoring. When I said I'm only talking about imprisonment, I meant his persecution. That's all. It would bother me too much if I didn't correct it. Like, I started my thought with, wasn't that guy executed for having opinions that did not agree with the general consensus? To illustrate that the general consensus on an issue does not mean that it's right, and that we shouldn't, and that we have historically persecuted people wrongfully for this thing. But I'm only, I guess, here referencing the imprisonment because he was actually not executed. Well, Socrates was killed for being a little bitch. Okay, that's why he was killed. Okay. Because he was a pussy ass, annoying ass bitch.
You
think of the
another
movie?
game designer.
That was the movie? Really?
This
I thought it was
and he was a
one of
nerd.
the replies of this game. This narrative writer replied saying, "You can't be racist to whites, period." Where, of course, this game writer, Mary Kenny, would like that tweet. Well, their support has continued. Since then, they have retweeted this absolute...
As I said, bro, it's like whenever you were kids and everybody gets together and they try to one-up each other with being stupid. It's like, oh, you think you can be stupid? Well, look what I could do. That's nothing. This isn't even my final form.
Stinker from Osama, where it says, racism is systematic oppression by definition, with a Merriam-Webster dictionary link right here. White people are not systematically oppressed.
Racism is systematic oppression by definition.
Am I an idiot, or did he mispronounce that word and he confused systematically and systemic?
Dictionary link right here. White people are not systematically oppressed.
There's no T. There's only one T in there. It's systemically. There's only systematically. I think it would have two T's in there. No. But. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. How are you arguing with a dictionary? How are you arguing with a dictionary? That's crazy.
Racism is
You
systematic
can't even read words and you're arguing with the dictionary.
oppression by definition. Just look it up. It's actually incredible to me that they, like, how do you post something like this? Do you just expect nobody to click on the link?
Are they different? Yes. Systematic and systematically and systemically are different things. Systemically is like just something being methodic. Whereas something systemic is like talking a little bit more general. Something that's systemic is like related to the whole system, the whole problem, that like there is something that needs to be redone from the ground up. Whereas, yeah, this is a good way to explain it. Systemically is like the structure of society. Systematically, wait. Yeah, systematically is like mechanized. Something described as systemic uses or follows a system, while something described as systemic is part of or embodied. Yeah, embodied. Sorry. I'll start over just in case I couldn't remember if I misspoke or not. Something described as systematic uses or follows a system, while something described as systemic is part of or embedded in the system itself. Here we go. One is a method, the other is like a structure. Yeah, basically. Mechanized, you rang. Systemic, part of a system. Systematic, uses a system. Perfect. Excellent. I would find an analogy if I could, but I feel like I'm only going to make it worse, so. Systemic racism is carried out systematically. Exactly.
It's just so sad.
It's not possible to be racist to white people. It is possible to be bigoted towards white people. These two things are not the same.
I'm not punching you, I'm hitting you. I'm not speeding, I'm driving fast. How many of you guys did this in school? You said I wasn't running, I was walking fast?
Words mean nothing. Words literally, I guess, just mean nothing. I just like, me personally, I get really embarrassed when I find out that like I'm wrong about something, or when I find out that I was lacking information, and it makes me very cautious to make any further strong stances or opinions. Like misremembering Galileo as having been executed when he was only imprisoned. It's like, okay, I need to be more careful in the future about thinking that people are executed. I need to double check before I say that. For you to look at the Webster definition that literally shows that you are wrong and then proceed to say, no, I'm still right. What is going on? What's happening? I just don't understand.
I tried to do this. They didn't like that, did they? That's so stupid, right? Bro, who do you think you're fooling with this? The only people that are trying to draw this kind of a distinction, do you know what they are? They're racists. That's the reason why they're trying to draw the distinction.
Wait, I need the explanation for
they
this.
They can be racist. Is that they have a tier list of bad behavior, and they think that being racist is worse than being bigoted. So it's okay to be bigoted, but not racist. So that's why it's okay. It's so stupid and self-serving. It's astonishing to me that anybody who actually has a working brain would believe any of this.
First
It's an excuse to be racist. It is.
What you're saying is,
it is.
No, I'm not a racist. I'm just a bigot.
Who are these people?
What you want to go with? Is that your final answer on this situation? It's so embarrassing. But as people have pointed out, it's like this guy.
I think that there's a pretty big distinction between someone being bigoted towards you and someone being able to use that bigotry to negatively impact your life. Those are different. I don't understand how you could not think that those are different. Like, great example. Great example. There's a lot of sexist people out there, right? There are a lot of bigoted people who are just, they have their opinions on women, and it is what it is, whatever. They're just idiotic. I don't really care about that, whatever. You don't like women, you think that they're stupid or dumb or gay or whatever. I don't care. Sure. However, I would like my workplace to not allow that kind of behavior. I would like my workplace to not allow someone else to bring that in to my field. I don't want to get like, I understand that I have to accept, okay, sexual assault is going to happen. I don't want to accept, and I refuse to accept, a system that allows women to get sexually assaulted at work, on company hours, in a company building. Those are different things. Those are absolutely different things. It's one thing for some like racist guy to be like, no, I don't fucking like X, Y, or Z group. It's another thing for that person to be one person of a larger, greater problem that also hold the power to make your life worse.
I didn't even click on the link that he shared, because if you go into the first definition, it includes one that
would, like the main definition of it. It's like, how do you not think of that?
Capture white people as well. And if you look at other definitions of racism, even if you plug it into Google, you will get other definitions from Oxford, for example.
They're all the same.
Include white.
Okay. Our education system is so fucked. It's so fucked. This is why, boys and girls, this is why You always steel man the people you disagree with. Always. And that's because if either of these two fucking morons spent 2 seconds trying to understand what this person meant, we would not be having this discussion. We would not be having this discussion. What's a steel man? It's the opposite of a straw man. Basically, let's say I say ice cream is bad. Instead of you immediately saying you're dumb, ice cream is good, you might say like, oh, are you describing, to be clear, this is, well, let me find a good example of steel manning, because the one I'm explaining is like a little bit different. It's sort of like helping somebody else finish their point versus actually steel manning. So I would rather find a good example of steel manning. It's described as an improved form of the other person's view, one that's harder to defeat. I like the way that he's acting out of pocket for BIPOC, but he's got his own org instead of having convos with Nick, Emiru, or S-Fan. That definition literally specifies minority or marginalized. They even underline the word for him. I think I remember Hassan saying, me finding the most charitable qualification of your argument. Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure the OTK contract has a no politics except for when it's right-wing adjacent clause. I sometimes watch Wake and he's been having a real tough time trying to ignore all of Asmon's awful take. Poor guy. He's like in a prison of right-winger. Dude, I love being a cunt because I can do this. I can get on Twitch and make fun of Asmongold and it's okay. It's great. It's absolutely great. I love the fact that I've accepted that this is who I am. And that you guys support me and believe in me and support my dreams. I mean, to be clear, all of Asmongold's bad takes are, in my opinion, from places of ignorance and overconfidence versus someone like Ben Shapiro or Matt Walsh or Michael Knowles or even like other people and any other like annoying people on the internet. Those people know that they're lying and they know that what they're saying is bullshit. This guy, I'm pretty sure he just has no idea that he's being a complete fucking moron. I'm pretty sure he has no idea that this is the way that it is. I just want to sit him down. I just want to like sit him down and just have him just put him in one good philosophy class. Just one. Just one. Are you going to watch yourself on stream after this? What does that mean? I'm so scared. Saha the Great, thank you for the Prime. Thank you. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have to admit 2 things. Read Hume, you heathens. Ew, Hume. Ew. Who the fuck would ever want to read Hume? Blech. Go read Derek Parfit. Now, let me say something, guys. I think you're being a little too kind to him. But I think it's true. He's an idiot. He's just he has too big of an audience. Other idiots hang on his every word. I just think that it's important to make a distinction between people who actually try to have the right opinion, but they don't have the right opinion. Versus people who don't care. They believe what they want to believe, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Whereas it seems like he has a desire to be consistent and to be correct, which is good. That's always a good starting point. If you don't have that starting point, you're fucked. You have to have that starting point. So he has the foundation. He just doesn't have anything set up on it. It's just like straws. He has a painfully optimistic point of view that equality and hard work will reward you, that life is fair. He'd hate hearing that that's his problem. He thinks that everyone else has the same opportunities and protections that he does because he's myopic as fuck. He doesn't want to defend having the perspective of a 12-year-old. Yeah, and again, like, there's a lot of survivorship bias going on there, of course. And there's a lack of exposure to the reality that this is not the case. Like, I bet you he has no idea how important your zip code is. Like, not to be deterministic, but you have to recognize the field of sociology isn't bullshit. The field of sociology doesn't get immediately discarded because, oh, bootstraps and pull yourself up. That's not how that works. It's guess what? You are shaped and molded by the society you grow up in. And we've done like studies, like longitudinal studies on how zip code impacts your success in life. And we have shown that if you take people from bad zip codes when they're young and you put them in good zip codes, they consistently outperform kids that are in the initial, that stay in the district or in the zip code that they were born in. Like, you are molded by the things around you. Now, on a individual level, you should always feel that you have 100% control and you should always give everything 100%. Fellini, thank you for the gift sub. You know, you should never feel like you can't do it, and you should always feel like you can do it. And you should always be trying to improve your situation. But exceptions are not proof that people aren't working harder. Exceptions are proof of how hard it is to break out of your circumstance. We can agree with both. I mean, like, you can have a strong desire to work and bootstrap as hard as you can, and also recognize that the systems are made and set up to make you fail. Yeah. Moving on, guys. Anyways, as much as I would love to watch this drivel that's making my IQ drop by 10 points every second, which was really bad because I only had 5 to begin with, so we're in negative territory at this point. I have a date